Hi, this is Denise Matthew, and today I'm going to do a really simple project. It's from a new series that I'm starting. It's just the KISP series, which means keep it simple. It's a really simple technique. Basically, all you're doing is some wrapped loops in between your beads. And if you wanted to, you can just do a plain wrapped loop. You can wrap it a little bit more around the top of the bead, or you can go right across to the other side. It gives it a little more dramatic flair. Well, let's get started. Today I'm going to use this bead tray just for helping calibrate the size of the bracelet. I've had it for the longest time and I've never used it, so I just thought I would just use it today. You don't need it at all, but if you are making quite a few bracelets, it might be helpful for you. I'm working with a 20 gauge wire and about 2 to 3 feet of wire. The first thing you're going to do is you're just going to do a wrap loop. But before you close it, you're going to slide on a jump ring, either a closed jump ring or a split ring. Now you're going to grab that loop that you just formed and you're going to just close it with the split ring on it. Now you can keep your tail a little bit longer if you like to wrap down further down your wire. I usually keep mine shorter, but it's your choice. Now that that's done, I'm just going to make sure it's nice and tight, and now I'm going to slide on my first bead. I'm working with 5mm silver beads. They're actually just silver plated and they have a satin finish. I really like the finish on them, but you can use any type of bead you like. I just like the silver, all silver, because it makes it very delicate looking and quite pretty considering it's not a very expensive design. Now that that bead's on, I'm just going to do a 90-degree angle right at the top of the bead and then make a loop, and then grab the top of the loop with your pliers, and you're going to start to wrap down that wire just to close the loop. Maybe 2 or 3 times, as many as you like. It's your choice. And when you feel like you've wrapped down enough, then you're just going to go right down the side of the bead, right to the bottom. And I just like to wrap about once at the bottom so that it doesn't get too bulky. And then once it's wrapped there, you just need to take your cutters and just trim it, and then make sure that any wires are tucked in so it doesn't pull on your clothes. After you've finished your loop, you want to make sure that everything's straight, and if it isn't, just take your pliers and just make things a little bit straighter. Now you're going to take your wire again and just do the exact same thing. You're just going to start a wrap loop, and before you close it, you're going to attach the side that you just finished of the bead, and then you're just going to close that loop again, just like you did before. So I want to straighten out the loop as I did before. You want your loop to be straight with the wire coming straight up when you're putting the beads on in between. That'll keep your bracelet nice and straight. So now you're going to just add your next bead and do the exact same thing. One more wrapped loop. And that's the pattern that you follow for the whole bracelet until you get to the end, and you're just going to add the clasp at the end. So there you go. So I'll do a couple more for you, and then I will stop and then come back and finish the bracelet. The beading tray that I'm using comes in handy because you can lay your beads inside and you can see how much you have done and how much you need to do. So the next thing you do is, again, just one more wrap loop. And I will come back soon and finish it. So I've done most of the bracelet already. I probably need to do maybe just 1 or 2 more beads. And I also have to take into consideration, I have my clasp in with it, so I know that the clasp is going to take that much space. So that's something you need to keep in mind when you're doing your bracelet. Otherwise, you might end up with it too long if you don't actually take account for the clasp. So I've added the extra bead, and now I'm on my last bead. I've measured it already, so I know it's going to be the correct amount for the 7-inch bracelet that I'm making. So I'm just going to do a 90-degree angle, exactly the same. Make a loop, and then I'm just going to slide. I have a clasp, and I also have a split ring jump ring on it. And the reason why I like to put a jump ring is because it allows the clasp to move a little bit more, so when you're putting it on, it's easier to do. So you're just going to close that loop just as you did before, and that will finish your bracelet. Just wrap down the wire. Right across the bead and right to the bottom. And then just do one final wrap, trim off that tail, tuck it in, and you will have your completed bracelet. And when I measure it, I see that it's exactly 7 inches like I was working for. So like I said, this tray comes in handy, but again, it's not essential. You can just do it on a ruler if you prefer. And the last thing to do is to make sure all your loops are straight so that the bracelet will hang straight on your wrist, and then you are completed. So this completes the tutorial. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.